Now recording.
Guys, gonna give a minute to get like a representative from product here. All right, I sent a DM to Iggy. Let's see if she could join us in the next minute. But I think we could start off with the triage report and the numbers each week. By the way, GM everybody, and thank you for joining us for yet another session of the UUP. I think every 2 weeks work, since like we're getting lesser and lesser reports that we get every week. Yeah, so for the last week, like in July 4th to the 10th, we only had 5 report issues and one of them has been resolved. So like this for the categories that we have broken down the issues under. So like one is from beta, two from what functionality, and the trade and DeFi has two as well. And for the last week, we only had 3 report issues and one of them has been resolved. So one for trade DeFi, one for UI and UX, and one for the wallet functionality. So we have added this to the triage sheet, and also we got a bunch of these tickets that has been resolved. So I did delete this. Wait a minute. So you could see the satisfaction of seeing the list go shorter. So yeah, we like have like an astounding only 16 issues that is here on the page. Right, let's jump right in. I did put in like new tabs for all the legacy issues and the key, but I still did add this here for this moment, and I'm just gonna delete and transfer them over to their sheets afterwards. Okay, so the first one I did include here is, and it's still worth mentioning, is the TXID for the Cosmos transactions in beta is sending to an error page. I know I think I did ping Adam on this thread and also added this to this feed, so he could check on it.
Yeah, I know. Ask if the priority on the
Mouse.
is
Mouse.
gang made changes. So the target explorer
Mouse.
made changes in our
Robot,
links
Adam.
format.
Robot.
Mouse.
You're a robot.
Oh shit. How about now?
That's better.
Better.
Is my mic giving a bunch of feedback? I'm green.
No, I don't
Sound
hear
good.
anything. I don't hear
Cool.
anything, Deepa.
So I was asking about priority on this. What looks like is MintScan changed the link format or deep link to a TX format. So we need to adjust the way that we build those links to match the new scheme.
Yeah, but that would also require another release. I think the users could still like copy manually the TXID and just search for it in the Mint page. So I could put in like a low priority on this. Well, delete it here since it's on that new sheet. Alrighty. For the next one I have here is like sending Cosmos using the native wallet results to an error. So we did check. So we only receive the error when we are sending Mac Atom. So I think we've also tested this on Kiki and it's getting the same error. We did create a ticket for this here, which I think Gomez replied to.
Is 1966? What's the status of that one? If we mouse over it. Okay. I tend to like how many people have reported it, I guess.
I think this was reported by support.
Yeah, I mean, do we have like Tyler or T Shifty? Yeah, like what's the general, do we have like a rubric for how we categorize this stuff? Like if a user hasn't reported it, we just got to like, obviously like resource constraint and competing priorities. Like we can fix every last bug. It's just a prioritization thing.
Yeah, it's a good question and definitely something to revisit, especially now that we're kind of reassessing our resources and where we want to keep our priorities. This sheet, we used to do like a priority ranking of low, middle, high, and then if there was any form of troubleshooting steps that were made available, we would try and exercise those at all costs before trying to get a fit. Perhaps we can revisit something around flows to make these lower priority bounty tickets or something like that, so we don't blow up your guys' timelines, but still create a path for resolution. Would that be like a appropriate solution here, or what would you think would be the best way to start? I just don't want to create a pile of tickets that is just deemed not important, so we just never address them again, too, you know?
I wonder if we like categorize it like if a user's reported it. Like what's the litmus test for like this is worth fixing?
Yeah, I mean, that could be like an early response litmus test. I think that there's sometimes too that we'll catch it before a user and it'd be worth it for us to fix before a user catches it too. But certainly when it gets down to low priorities, stupid bugs, we don't have to treat everything the same. Do you think that this is something that we would, even if we had the resources to bounty out, would choose to not address until the user fixed it? Or communicated that they noticed it?
At the highest level, I would say yes. Yeah, as kind of blunt as that could sound. Yeah, we're trying to figure out like profitability and then potentially like chasing a bunch of bounties and stuff. It's like if we view this through the lens of like, does this impact revenue generation or potential revenue generation?
Yeah. I feel like that eventually turns into a slippery slope of us creating a whole bunch of excuses to not fix issues. But yeah, I also don't want to be a stick in the mud and think that we need to have perfect be the enemy of good enough. So maybe this is something we need to maybe revisit internally as ops outside of this call, and move forward with a proposal around tiers of what we find is important to get some feedback from you guys if you agree with that.
Yeah, do we want to kind of like plow through this meeting and then discuss that offline?
Yeah, we can. I mean, we could even do it in this meeting if we think that that's the best use of time too. It certainly could shape how these meetings happen in the future. Definitely think it's worth everyone's input. Do we have someone from support here? Yeah, this looks like we got Mogi here. Maybe we can add a new, or we do have a number of reports here. Maybe what would be best is for us to get kind of a more regular communication path going with support where they can proactively help us fill out these number of reports lines when users show up, and then find like a line of demarcation where they do get brought up for bounties or things like that. Do you think that a bounty is the lowest level, or is the lowest level of effort having one of your guys or like the trusted community devs just take it off as soon as they can? What would disrupt you guys the least?
Trusted community devs would be least disruptive. And then bounty, like with bounty stuff, we also have to kind of like do an engineering triage to see what the fix is. For example, like Gomes ticket, we haven't got like there's a few trusted community members that I trust would get that correct, but the majority wouldn't, if that makes sense. So like there's kind of like a ops triage, it's like an engineering triage of like how hard is this to bounty and review versus do it ourselves, and if we do it ourselves, at what cost?
Totally. And if we weren't in a bear market, maybe there's an economics of like teaching people and spending that time to do so. But right now is maybe not the time to explore that.
Yeah, if we've got a different organizational trajectory, then you can absolutely justify like bringing on juniors and training them up and accepting lower quality contributions that act as a hiring funnel as well. But at the moment, it's like, do we throw a couple of hours engineering time at this? But what are we not engineering because of it?
For sure. Well, is there anything that could create a problem if we just started using the funnel directly to trusted community devs? And if they end up triaging up to you, you just slap them back down and say, if you can't figure it out yourself, we'll leave it for later? Would that be like a lowest level effort here that also...
Yeah, that sounds pretty streamlined to me. Like if they don't want to pick it up, then we like it's maybe not worth fixing.
Okay. Well, we have a path using dwork that we can take these GitHub tickets and mark them as trusted community devs. Sounds like we might need to clarify who's the one who says, yeah, this is for that. And maybe this meeting's not meeting frequently enough to do that, but perhaps we can get a quick pass from you or someone else on the team as things show up in triage.
Sorry, say that one again.
In confirming if this is the wanting to get approval for if we do take this down to community devs, I guess really that can still happen. If a community dev comes back at you, then we know that it wasn't fit for that. But wanting to make sure I don't bug you, but I make sure that I'm not putting all of these in the wrong place too. I guess we'll just figure out circumstantially. I'm talking to myself and talking in circles. Really.
Yep.
Oh, cool. That sounds good. It sounds like then this meeting might get a little more streamlined, or at least have better status updates on some of these.
Yeah, similarly, I think there was only like there was a beta one here. Oh, that was legacy issues. We got a separate tab for that. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we don't have a great protocol for legacy issues other than just dropping them on Adam's doorstep and hoping that he can find time for that. But we can also kind of offline chat Adam about best ways to prioritize this if this pile of shit at your door is not manageable. Sorry to derail Lich too. I don't know if we want to pick it back up now from where we were.
No, it's all good.
Thanks, Devi.
Yeah, thank you. Let me see. On to the next one. We have there is the for trades, or they're approving new token. I know like this has been required by Josh, and we did try this yesterday, and we couldn't recreate this anymore. Yeah, we'll kind of just wait for him to reply. But Max and also Wesley checked on this, and we couldn't recreate this. Yeah, if I don't hear back from Josh, we could just remove this from the list here. The next one is the trade modal top box, picking up numbers from the bottom box when calculating a trade.
I don't know if we have Elmut in here. I don't think we do. No. I kind of feel like this was fixed recently. Apotheosis, if you remember this one.
Yeah, Elman had a PR for that, and it should be fixed.
Oh, cool. Anybody from the ops team could check, and yeah, we could remove this from the list if it's working.
Yeah, this
Mm,
was
we
in
can-
a this was in a release last week when you were out ill, Glitch and Shifty was as well. But yeah, this was already pushed to prod.
Ooh, perfect. Thank you. And mark as resolved. Alrighty. Next one is error loading rate, or there's something went wrong error when using a web wallet. That would work, but it doesn't.
Feel like this one was resolved too.
Yeah. Also, we just made a ticket to change the copy in one of the use cases.
Okay. I know what's going on with my browser. But yeah, we could mark this as resolved, yeah?
I think so, yeah.
Perfect, thanks. Next is a dead UI link for the ETH about section. I think there's like a more UI and UX.
I put a comment in here earlier today. I think it was this ticket. Yeah, we're just going to remove the link. And then Decentralized Day is working on some updated copy for this. But you can probably.
That copy got merged to lib at least, and I think we did a package bump this morning, and I feel like, let me check ETH right now in production. Yeah, those links are all fixed for ETH in prod.
Okay.
If you want to close that out.
Sweet. Thank you.
Perfect. More things are resolved.
Love seeing all those resolved. Love that.
Definitely, the list keeps getting shorter. And last one is like error while granting allowance when swapping USDC for ETH using Tor. Let's see. I think we did tag Justin on this. Joey, yeah.
My understanding was we were still waiting for recreations on this one. But yeah, this is also one it sounds like a solution will have to come from Portesteam regardless as well.
Yeah, we'll definitely do some recreations and reach out to Portis or send Justin a DM. We do have like another sheet for them, but I'm not sure if they do check it regularly. Yeah, but that's it for all the issues for the last 2 weeks. I'm also like going back to the previous issues and marking them resolved as we go along as these fixes are pushed to prod. So I'm not sure if like anyone from the ops team would like to raise any high prior issues, any new issues that come.
Can we talk about legacy issues for 1 second? Well, we've got Adam too. I don't know if it made it to the list, but there was a notice from Elma that legacy Thor trades have been having issues. Seems like something changed over there, and they're going to build it correctly for app, but it looks like there's kind of just some issues in error message handling, and it might be more, or it might just be the fact that we can't do Thor trades in beta right now.
Yep. So I think what happened is Thorchain changed the way they interpret the limit. That's the outbound fee. If the outbound fee, let's see, the outbound fee is subtracted basically and included in that limit amount. So, like, if the actual exchange meets the minimum you requested, but the fee is $50, you'll get your thing back. You'll get back at least the limit you specified and then minus the outbound fee. This is prior to their change. So with the change now, you'll always get at least the limit you specify. Now, there's some math stuff that goes on to determine, what's the proper limit to set there to protect people and ensure we get as many successful swaps as possible, because it does suck when you get a refund based on, then you're paying the outbound fee for the input chain. So I heard about this from Sean this morning. Yeah, it sounded like he was working on it for V2. I think I posted something to the effect, if he's charging forward on it, there's no point in both of us doing it unless we deem this a high enough priority in beta that I should drop the other things I'm working on.
Mogi, do you have any finger on the pulse of how many users have reported Thor issues in beta so far?
Hey, no, not exactly. It definitely isn't a lot, though. I can try to look around on Zendesk, but it's definitely not something that's been like coming up often.
So if we're gonna lean into DeFi's suggestion earlier, maybe this is something for priority, Adam, that we don't upturn your current workload with UTXO stuff until we hit a threshold of users reaching out about this issue. Might be a little bit of a black eye, but maybe this was the right course of action to go. What does other people think on the call?
I see the logic in that, Tyler, but rather hear from some other contributors as well.
I know DeFi just stepped out for 5 minutes. I'll be back. But product, I'm interested in product if you guys have any strong feelings one way or another. Or Adam, if that would significantly help your current workload.
I don't have any strong feelings one way or another.
My hope was Sean's going to solve it for V2 with their clean start. I could look at the algorithm he uses to calculate it there and then backport it into beta if it's not going to take too terribly long, or that's an acceptable time frame or solution. Then it takes, obviously less effort out of me to go find the changes that need to be made. I'll sort of have the answer sheet at that point.
Okay. Do we have any estimate on how long it's going to take for Ella to get Thor in a prod ready environment? Is that still not estimatable?
I can't say either way. I would need to ask him or DeFi.
Okay. Well, I hate to throw out an arbitrary number like we need X number of users to complain about this, but maybe that's something that we can let support kind of be keenly aware of. And if we get something that, like a flood of them come in, or a bunch of people using all caps come in, then maybe that starts to move the needle up. But is that something we could keep in correspondence over the next couple of days as we monitor this? And if we hit a breaking point, then we reassess maybe Adam coming in and fixing things. But if we can hold the line until it gets out in the app, maybe that's the path of least resistance.
I like it.
Cool. Well then, yeah, it sounds like ops will keep up comms with support around this issue specifically, and see if we can get some more detail about users that are affected and growth over time.
Yeah, sounds good. I think we should remember too that not everyone who is affected by a bug or issue is going to actually open a ticket. So, if we do tell you guys, hey, we have 3 people that reached out, like it's definitely more than that who have encountered it. Because, when we say 3 users or something, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, but we really have to times that by X number, just something to keep in mind.
For sure. I'd love to figure out what the tension or breaking point is on how long we could go with not having to do this double work, but totally recognize that not everyone's so kind to reach out and do a ticket with you guys, and there's probably more people that are just walking away instead of being patient.
For sure. But yeah, we can definitely still get you the numbers to fill in that G column there going forward. So.
Is there anything else? I don't know if there's anything else legacy that's outstanding that we were waiting for Adam to respond back to. I feel like Beach we resolved. I feel like the copy to
Yay,
clipboard.
Kev man.
Yeah.
That was a Kev thing, right?
Yep. I feel like we probably don't need to worry about Spank Chain. The dead copy to clipboard, you can just go to app.shapeshift.com, or you can just highlight the text. Yeah, so really it's just probably tracking this new legacy issue. And hopefully Elnut can crank out Thor faster than we need to address a fix from upset users here. Be my plan of attack, my vote for action.
Let's go parody.
Hey,
Charging
yeah,
ahead.
we're just if it's not working in beta, it means we're just one step closer to parity, right?
Exactly.
Cool. Well, I didn't have any other agenda items. I can pass it back to you, Lich. Or does anyone else have things they wanted to chat about while we're all here together?
Yeah, I think those are the only issues. Ooh, I do have one to open the topic since Mogi is also here. I wanted to just check back if how the triage support is going. I know that mostly it's ops and just support team members are opening the triage form and reporting these issues. So if it's coming from support, it's most likely from the users. So I wanted to make sure if the co form is still all good and in a support angle, if